Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode. Hope you've had a fantastic week. We've been kind of quiet on social media. That's because I've had some family issues to take care of. But speaking of family, I got to catch up with my brother-in-law, Riccy Mitchell, this week to talk about creativity, artistry, and what impact being a family man and a husband has had on his career. So check it out this week, guys. Hello people, I'm in the special town of Roehampton.
Oi oi! All the
My
lads.
brother-in-law, Riccy Mitchell. If you don't know, get to know.
Rock with a winner man, roll with a flow. Bars.
About that. So yeah, I just thought it would be really cool to do an episode with Riccy about music, family, creativity, and how they fuse together. So firstly, what do you do? What have you been doing? What's going on?
I'm Riccy Mitchell.
Riccy!
I'm a singer, songwriter, husband, father. I'd like to say nice guy, but I guess that's what other people do.
You're a nice guy.
Yeah.
A nice guy. So what's happening for you at the moment? What are you up to musically?
I'm currently working on the production side of EP number 2.
Right.
I have 2 EPs that I'm working on simultaneously,
Right.
which is proven to be quite difficult.
You already have an EP out.
I have an EP out. It's called Love Voice. You should check it out on Spotify and iTunes and Tidal.
I'm supposed to plug you guys. That's supposed to be me. But you've done it now, so go check it out.
I've done all I can to be you. Why do you tease me like you do? Wherever you are, I'm running to. You're my bad habit. You're my bad habit. But I can't quit you now.
So yeah, it's called Love Wars, and the second EP is called Tales of Freedom, and that's currently what I'm working on at the moment. That's the main priority. Hoping to get that out in November. So
Working hard.
yeah,
Around the corner.
yeah, it's around the corner. Getting some videos done and some promotion going on. So
What have you done in the past? And obviously, like, this is from early days. What was the beginning, the genesis?
My days, wow. Okay, so are we going back as far as college or like
Pre-children, pre-family.
Okay, all right. So, pre-family, I was a scoundrel running around Brixton. Yeah, it's
Was it
not
that bad?
It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing to write home about. Let's just thank the lucky stars that we have grace, right? You know, literally grace.
Okay.
So music was taking place in the form of really cheesy R&B and production. I had a spurt where I thought I was an MC, which was not cool. I feel like I had bars, but
Like you tried to demonstrate earlier on.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The bars though. Yo, my name is Riccy and I'm on the mic. You better believe I'm feeling alright. I'm here with Emily and she's beatboxing. You don't know, everybody be scuffing. Oh my gosh, bars.
So you was a scoundrel, you do music, you hadn't discovered what you were really supposed to be doing, and now you've definitely honed in your home, your forte. And so you are obviously married to my sister, and that occurred quite...
Hi, baby. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is not time for that connection.
I can give it a shout out. Still.
Yeah. What's up, G? Yeah, you got married quite young.
I did.
Talk about what you were doing and how that occurred and then what changed.
So I was floating in between. So obviously the scoundrel part of it kind of sort of come to an end when I met your sister. You know, you got to come correct, man. You meet a woman that makes you want to change your life, and you have to come correct. And that's exactly what I did. No, the period I had my son, and then we got married. And in between getting married and having my son, we had a whirlwind of emotions and just things going on that were just like unsavory.
So how did that affect your music at the time?
I mean, as you can imagine, I was in a very dark place at the time. So kind of just making sure that I didn't let it consume me and just write write it out. In that time, we spent a lot of time apart. Myself and Grace spent a lot of time apart, but obviously co-parenting with my oldest son, then my only son. Having to see her all the time. Like, we're not together, weren't really getting along, but having to see her all the time because of the group that I was in, called Renewed.
Which was legendary. I just want to let you
Listen.
know. Because of that group, I am doing music this day.
Listen, I kid you not, there was an umbrella company called the Renewal Project, which we were all a part of.
Yeah.
And it gave us more than music. It gave us discipline, timekeeping. It gave us time management. It gave us just how to be a steward, how to serve, how to be a leader, how to know to listen, all that kind of stuff. And it literally, it was a school. We released an album together, which Jazz was on as well, and he's also on a previous
episode. I'll link all the episodes for
that. That was a good album.
It was a good album.
I liked that album. I did. Within that time, I had to write a lot because it was, you don't write, you cry. What if I don't write, I cry? And I wrote a lot of songs. Some that will never see the light of day, and some I've just taken like elements of it and kind of put into the person I am today.
Mm-hmm. So what's the pros? What's the pros of being a family man, a married father of 3?
My babies.
And music, and how has it positively impacted your artistry stroke creativity?
Having a family has its ups and downs, and having a family within music also has its ups and downs. It's a completely different ball game when you're trying to have a creative space, but you come home to having to do homework and having to do school runs, and you having to stop your studio session because you need to do a school run and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like it dawns on your creativity because you want to have the space to do what you need to do to create, but it's been stifled by your responsibilities.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I'm very hands-on with my children and my wife, and I don't play around with that at all. That's just something that I'm not prepared to. That's something I can't afford to have mess up.
Right.
So everything will get put on the back burner for that. Everything.
Right.
That's number one priority.
Including
my creativity, and it hurts me to my core because that's a part that's in my DNA. So when I have to make a decision to put that to the side, it cuts me up, but I know that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
So I do that. And 2015, 2016, I had another dark period where I was sort of toiling between what I wanted to do for myself and what I had to do, because it just felt like everything was coming on top. Like I didn't have the time to be creative, and it was frustrating. So I think that impacted on me as well. But through that, Love Wars came out.
So do you think it's affected your actual content, stroke creativity, stroke
Absolutely.
Whatever?
Absolutely. There's a song that I wrote on Love Wars called Without You, and that song is about my children and the desperation that I have for them and the need to make sure that I don't mess up. And what's great, I think, about it is that when someone else hears it, they automatically assume that it's about like my partner or an ex or whatever. So you take it to mean whatever you want it to mean at whatever time, but that's the heart that I wrote from. Yeah. So just kind of having those things in mind when I put those songs forward, and trying to keep it as universal as possible, so I can use my experiences to connect with people.
Right. Yeah. And they're your biggest fans. Like,
yeah,
I love when I see them playing your music and singing along every word. And like they play. Even I say, Auntie, have you heard Daddy's record? Can I play it for you? And
yeah, man, they love my song. I often use them as the kind of guinea pigs in the car. If I did a new song, I'll put it on in the car, not say anything, and just see how they react to it. And I know if they ask for it, then I know.
Then it's a good one.
Yeah, it's got legs. Yeah, it's got legs.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's easier to have started out with music and then become a family person?
Ooh.
Or do you think it's easier to have a family and then get into a creative space after already having mastered? You never I don't know if you can master parenthood or marriage.
There's no rule book.
But do you think it would be easier to then have that started and then go into music as a secondary thing outside of that?
I think that like both of them have their pros and cons. Like I said, creatively, you want as much space and time to do that as possible. But if you have a family, it's not gonna necessarily be easy to do that. Which like I said, it stifles your creativity. So, I guess you have to decide which is more important to you at the time. And if you do have a family and you're trying to make it work as an artist, just take care of your responsibilities, man. That's the main thing. Because just imagine, for example, you get a tour or you get the opportunity that you want to get, and then you go off on tour, and then you don't have time for your family anymore. And you're missing out on sports days. And you're missing out on graduation. They have the small graduations in classes now. Going from one class to another, helping with homework, those kind of things. Like, they mean a lot. I know they meant a lot to me when I was growing up. So if you don't have that in the back of your mind, how you felt when you was a child. And how much your parents impacted you, that's supposed to have some sort of impact on you growing up and when you have your own children. So it kind of makes sense if you have your career in place before having your children.
Obviously, but not everybody does that.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Like, you want to do music, but your family don't really understand your kind of headspace.
I wouldn't say give it up. I'd say find a way to make it work. Because if you give it up, it's gonna haunt you. If you're as creative as you say you are, and you need it as much as you say you do, it's going to haunt you. And you're never gonna know exactly how much you missed out on until you stop or until you keep going.
Right.
But you make a decision whether you want to or not. So if you make a decision to not do anything, then you've made a decision to go forward. And you know what I'm saying? It stops everything else if you're not gonna do it, and then no one's gonna hear your voice. And if you're as good as you hope to be, or you hope you are, then people are gonna want to hear that voice. So don't take it away from the world, man. Don't take it away from the world. Just put it out there somehow. Find a pocket, save your money together. That's another thing as well. Getting into money. Oh my days, especially as an independent artist coming up, like finding money to prioritize. Am I gonna pay studio time, or am I gonna pay my rent, or am I gonna buy an extra mic, or am I gonna buy the kids' school uniforms, or is it date night? Do I need to do date night first before I go to book a flight to go somewhere else to try and do some promotional gigs? Those things are all things you need to think about. And me personally, like I said, there's sometimes that I have to do date night, and there's sometimes where I have to explain to my wife, look, I need to do this, and she understands. Sometimes she may not like it, but it's what I have to do
for yourself.
And she's comfortable enough with me and within herself, and within the family, to let me do what I'm doing, knowing full well how much it means to me. You can't be selfish in it. You can't be selfish. Like, if you are selfish in it, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. Lastly,
so you said obviously find a way is probably your biggest kind of encouragement to people who have families.
Absolutely.
And would like to be creative and write music. What does the future hold for you in terms of what's next? I know obviously your children are getting older, and you are getting older, and the industry's changing. How do you feel you're going to move forward now?
I'm just going to continue to be the best version of me that I can be, and make that work for my situation. I can't guarantee anything. All I know is that I have a direction of where I want to go. I have a destination, and I'm going to get there one way or another. If it takes 5 years, if it takes 10 years, if it takes 2 years, it could take 2 months. However long it takes, I know there's somewhere that I have to be. Just having that mindset, I believe, is kind of puts me in a good headspace.
Right.
I'm celebrating 10 years of being married.
Come through!
This year.
That's amazing.
Thank you, man.
That's amazing.
And just that alone, that 10-year space has been it's been turmoil, and it's been joy, it's been everything. But through it all, I've managed to kind of maintain a steady headspace, and to kind of get to where I'm going, just get to the next level. I say that to say this. After nearly celebrating 10 years this year, I now have to focus on the EP, which is after that. So that's taken priority. Everything, like music-wise, everything has been put to the side. But that's what I know that I need to do, so I've done that. As the money that I would have had to put into
the EP,
I now have to put somewhere else. But it's a decision I'm comfortable to make, because I know this is more important to me. And like, I think of people like Arrow Benjamin, for example. He's very vocal about his marriage, very vocal about his children, and he loves them to pieces. You can see it. Guy's a Grammy Award winning songwriter. Do you know what I'm saying? And he has a family. It's definitely possible. It's possible. So it's just
there's a lot of people doing it.
Yeah,
isn't it,
100%.
Beyonce just had twins.
Beyonce just had twins.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure she's not shy of hiring a few nannies though.
Yeah, I know. She got a few balls.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, that's another thing about the childcare thing, man. That's crazy as well. That's just gosh.
There's lots.
It's lots. Like you can literally spend in a month of childcare, you can literally spend twice your rent, and it's so bad. It's so bad. Like imagine like $2.5 grand on childcare, and then the 2.5 what that 2.5 grand could do for your project. It's mad. Do you understand?
But then you got some beautiful babies there.
You do indeed, and I love them. I love them to pieces.
Thanks for being honest.
Yeah.
Why are you flashing your pics?
Well, obviously, you know, good working out, you know.
I'm so sick of it.
Percolating pectorals.
Anyway, thanks very much for
Euro training.
Candid. And guys, if you want to see more of Ricky's stuff, I'll put it in the description box below so you can actually see it.
Yeah.
On iTunes, on his website, on
Yeah.
his social media, yada yada yada. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you got some nuggets from it. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button below to stay up to date with all the videos we post. We post every single Wednesday. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Google Plus, and I promise this week there'll be lots to look at. But until next week, guys. Bye.